Hey guys, how are you? It is the Debrief Live from round number 5 of the Supercarts USA Pro Tour. Welcome to hashtag Groundhog Day.
Hashtag Situation Saturday.
It is Situation Saturday, but it's Groundhog Day as well. We keep waking up in the same place. We keep going to the same racetrack. We keep having the same races. Let me jump over here to the comments, make sure the comments are rocking here right now.
It's not technically the same races. I mean, we're saying some of the same winners, but it's the same format, same structure.
And we wake up in the same beds, and we eat the same breakfast, and then we go drive to the racetrack in the city.
I do that already day to day, so I mean,
that's very true. It was a pretty great day today, all in all. Hello to all of you, those of you who are tuned in right now. Thank you so much for joining us. We went to Los Amigos for Mexican dinner. It was delicious.
It was.
You were happy.
I got what I wanted, and that's always good.
You had steak tacos, and you were happy. It was good. So, yeah, day was pretty solid on the racetrack. A lot of great racing. I actually have results here, and because Matt Langford told us that we screwed up the race big time, we actually have some notes. I wasted time. I took time off from announcing to make sure I had a couple of notes. Didn't want to screw things up. Again, if you are tuning in right now and you have any questions, please blast them out there. Comments, whatever it may be. Interactive. It's better for us if it's interactive. The reason why I'm saying this right now, and the reason why Cole's not looking at the camera, is because he's actually working on his spreadsheet. Those of you who may not know, when I hired David, he had absolutely zero skills whatsoever to be in the job he is right now.
Oh my God.
He wasn't a journalist, didn't know how to write, couldn't talk on the radio. No. He liked go-kart racing. That was
you did have a couple of things right.
What's that?
That I like racing.
You like racing?
Karting.
Yeah, yeah. You had no idea how to write?
I had no idea.
No, but you actually had written a couple, but you started writing road racing articles for us. They were horrible. I edited them, but you were...
But they were 300 words.
Yeah, and you were emotional and supportive of the sport, which was great. So, but you've become a fantastic writer. But here's the thing where I'm going with this was, those of you who may not know, David has actually a degree in
mathematics.
Applied mathematics. Applied math, meaning
bachelor's of science.
Yeah.
Applied mathematics.
Yeah. Wow.
It was a C average, but I
doesn't matter.
It took me 5.5 years, but I graduated.
But the thing that David can do, which is ridiculously awesome, is spreadsheets. He's a spreadsheet king. And listen, we have the EKN.
The numbers back up my spark plug thing.
They do not do that. They don't do that. I will say this: I would never sell the spreadsheet that David, because I had started the initial spreadsheet for the EKN driver rankings, and I loved it. David took it to the next level. Of course, it's not something that we will ever let anybody see, and I'll never sell it because it's a very serious, complicated spreadsheet for sure. Okay. Kyle Kaler says, what changed? I guess you're talking about David not knowing things. That I agree with.
Wow.
Tommy Anderson,
coming from a guy who doesn't race anymore.
And it's nothing about Merlin. Speaking of not racing, Tommy Anderson, there's a bunch of Merlin guys coming at you. How would you grade the overall racecraft over the last couple of weekends? Let's ask a couple questions. Let's jump right on real quick. I'm going to say racecraft pretty solid. I think we know that Newcastle lends itself to people getting over aggressive because you can drive a guy through corners. Tommy, you've been here before. Kyle, you've raced here. You can always drive a guy through a hairpin. And I don't think we saw a lot of that because I think because the class is so close, if you try to drive somebody through, you end up getting rolled and coming into the back, which I get pushed back. We've seen drivers go, especially here in Reverse National, coming through the I-70 hairpin, pushing too hard. You drop a wheel there, Dave, we're talking 10, 15, back of the pack kind of stuff, right? You lose a lot of positions for sure.
Well, the pushback bumper certainly helps with the start, so we got that. But, yeah, I mean, it's Newcastle. Guys are very familiar with the racetrack.
Yeah.
Obviously, except for, obviously this weekend because we're going Reverse National, but it's essentially the same racetrack. You're just going through the entry on what used to be the exit of the corner. So the lines are all the same. I think overall the racecraft has been good. I mean, nothing's going to be perfect, especially in racing.
Yeah.
Come on. We had our perfect score go away in G2. We'll talk about that later, but nothing is ever perfect. And
racecraft can only take yourself so far that you have emotion and the actual
and there's a lot of emotion. I mean, as you just said, it's Groundhog's Day essentially every day that we've been here.
These guys are all getting really aggressive.
And so it tends to start wearing on you mentally.
There's good
Andy is not perfect.
But there's good racecraft, but you push sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes you're going to push to make a pass, and it may not be great racecraft, but you're rolling the dice on it, right?
And again,
but there is a guy that's perfect.
He's not perfect.
Andy Staysman.
Andy is not perfect.
He's not.
Shouldn't he be? Oh well, they're done racing.
Yeah,
so they're done. So he's probably.
So again, racecraft has been. I thought has been awesome. Listen, let's know that the racecraft in the front half of the grid sometimes better than the back half. Sometimes the other way around.
But is that racecraft or is that talent?
Well,
or an experience.
Experience is racecraft, right? We talked about a couple of drivers. I mentioned if you watched some of the stuff I talked or listened to some of the broadcasts, I talked about some of the drivers who maybe lacked a bit of racecraft in terms of not knowing where to be over the last couple of laps. Some drivers, just got themselves into positions where they were trying to make a pass, but making that pass, they end up going back like 9 spots. And there's just, again, you have to time it at this particular track, knowing who's behind you. Now, the reason why I said David was so good at the spreadsheets is because he is now, of course, working as he does every time we do an event with EKN Trackside Live. He's working on the spreadsheets to know how we're going into tomorrow. And the spreadsheet's pretty serious in terms of
it's massive.
He knows He knows he's got everything done with drops, blah, 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 where you're running on the racetrack. He plugs in fast laps of the race every time. And that's the key, I think. Listen, you know what? This is interesting people run. Thanks for the comments, by the way. Andy Saisman said fatigue probably a huge part of day 11. I think are we in day 9 right now? Whatever we're in, Andy.
We don't
Groundhog
know.
Day.
Tell us what day it is.
Here on the 1,000th time through February the 2nd or whatever Groundhog Day is. That's something that somebody actually said to us earlier. Somebody told us that they didn't think that there would be drivers in the single speed categories in senior that may be able to make it to the very end of the weekend, all 3 races, because you have to pound the curbs in a couple of places here. And we've talked to drivers where, man, they're tired, and not just physically tired, but mentally tired after the entire run. Here we go. Judy Aladia said, "Do you see my oldest son today?" Yes, of course.
We did.
Yes.
We talked football.
You did.
Me and him. Me and Michael talked football.
Right.
We talked about how terrible the Big 12 is and the SEC is compared to the Big 10. So.
I will say this. Papa Lavia said that if I ask for one of the ratio rights, I can get one. I'm asking for a ratio right. I want a midi ratio right. Derek Escabel says, looks like a stacked field at X30 Senior. Who's looking good going into tomorrow? I don't like Derek. Honest to God, how do you not think the price of Morris is going to do it again? The guy's been ridiculously good. We'll get to that, of course, guys. And the reason why I say this because when we do the breakdown of categories, David's going to line us up with trying to line us up right now because he was dicking around over here after we had showers after dinner. Well, I can't wait for you to get them all done, David. We're not going to do this at 11 o'clock at night. I need to sleep pretty soon.
Never mind.
I need my beauty sleep.
I was going to say what we heard on the stand-up. I was going to say it.
Oh, yeah.
And I can't say that.
Don't do that. But we watched some Netflix stand-up a couple days ago.
Can we say his name?
Oh, Andy Saisman signing off? What are you signing off for?
He was Andy Saisman type.
Having a red cup with Eric and Josh.
Yeah.
Good for you guys. Hope you guys are having a good weekend.
Angry Elf.
Carl Lewis, are people running out of parts like motors and bent chassis? No, I really haven't heard anything about that. I don't think we got a lot of that stuff, Carl.
You got Comet Kart Sales here. They have pretty much every type of brand that you have.
That's true. Yeah.
So that, most of the teams have parts stacked or stocked, ready to go. But yeah, I've heard no issues. We haven't really talked to any of the engine builders regarding, maintenance, and because engines are being torn down in tech. So that is that's maybe something we can ask engine builders.
That's a really good point. All the builders are here. They're taking care of their customers, right?
Gary Lawson is pretty much in the tech building and Wiltshire and as I'm working, I think I've seen the back of Gary Lawson about 18 times. Every time I look, because we're on top of tech, right? Yeah.
Every time I look back out, Gary's walking in the other direction. Like he keeps coming to tech. His comment is having a great weekend.
And along with Wiltshire,
Allison's
Precision,
BBS, right?
Yeah, BBS.
Yeah.
Not too many shifters because there's only one category, so we're not really sure who's in there for that. But Sweet Tech here and stuff like that.
Eddie Alavia, Robin Day, PM Meteor. Yes, I'm doing it. That's it. That's the ratio right's gonna be my new cocktail. I think my new drink of choice, or my chalice of choice.
The chalice you have chosen wisely.
Tom Harleman,
corner worker.
Gary Lawson is awesome. Tom, of course, one of the drivers that we raced with at the Battle of the Brickyard, a race winner earlier this year, the KRA program here. and is working on the corner this weekend, which I think is fantastic. I love it.
You know, more racers need to do that.
I think
I would love to hear his experience because he's probably never worked a corner before.
That's true.
Right?
That's true.
And as a young lad, I used to work corners before I even raced.
I did with my first year. Like you put the cart down, you roll out, you do a corner, you run back.
It just kind of helps you understand the chaos that is part of being at a race and doing the on-track activities.
Agreed.
You know, race directing and corner working and stuff, the things that go on there.
Okay, Brian Mossman says something nicely before. He says, thanks, guys, for the positive shouts for Frankie tomorrow. He is coming in hot. I will say this, Brian, it was Frankie that made me talk about him because if he's not in the front, I don't talk about him. It's as simple as that, right? Like, this is the driver. He says, though, where are the cocktails? It's an IPA for Rob, hazy, and you're rum and coke. David, every time. Like, it's a straight up deal. Jody Holden says, you guys are my favorite. Well, you're our favorite too, Jody. We love that. Dave and Eddie says, Dave, do you want to have a Whataburger and media logo on your photo lens? Oh, yeah, no, do you still have it?
Still have it, yes.
I saw it today.
When I shoot the podiums, Michael made sure I still had that sticker on there.
It's awesome.
So when I shoot the podiums, it's on the podium one.
And it makes me want a green chili cheeseburger.
It makes me want In-N-Out burger.
Wow, that's a low blow for having that on there. All right, so let's jump into this thing right now, folks. Comments, keep them coming. David's working on the spreadsheet, so he'll be able to kind of bring us in on terms of where everybody is point-wise coming into the weekend. KA100 Junior, let me go back to my notes because I don't want to screw this up. Again, it was Cruz, Burke, and actually the 877, which was – I wrote the numbers down thinking that would be a good idea. And that was just stupid because I don't know the damn numbers of the cards. Who's the 877?
I don't know.
It's like, there's not even one in there. Anyways, Cruz and Burke pulled away.
It was Cruz led. Cruz led the majority of the race. Looking at my notes, Rob, just to let you know.
This is Opolsky. Why is he 802?
He is 802.
God damn it, Rob.
But Cruz led the majority of the race. There was some contact final circuit. Do you have that on your notes?
I had. Yeah. So my notes was Cruz defends on final lap, and that was. And Burke tried it in 13 and 14. That was the thing. So we talked about this a lot, right? I said this before. Either the cell tower corner or the next one, the double apex left hand. I thought that's where the passes were going to be because I thought that defending into 12, 13, 14 would be pretty easy. We saw some passes there. They had to be super aggressive. Cruz defends on the final lap into 14. Burke couldn't make the pass happen and went for it. And then I also said that my notes are that Workman and Morgan made contact coming out of turn number 9.
Yeah, out of the cell tower.
And they dropped, and they got together and came out of the top 10. So because Weston Workman worked his way up there. I honestly thought that Carson Morgan's, to me, as they kind of rolled in there, I kind of figured out that those guys were going to be, Morgan was going to be a guy in the hunt because it just seemed to me like he was just real relaxed, real comfortable. And I thought he was going to be able to place himself where he needed. He was. And
we thought it was going to be a little bit more of a chaotic ending. It was, but there was only 3 drivers rather than having 5.
Yeah. Again, Cruz worked his way to the front and then defended, which is what you do. Like I said, and my thought was when you come out of 11, if you come out of 11 with the lead, it's almost going to be impossible to pass somebody. Even if you go to down to the inside and turn 12, which is the right-hander, enough. Even the over, somebody's got to be absolutely perfect and real aggressive to get by you. And Cruz always is so solid with his cart placement. That's one thing I like about him. He just places the cart at the right place. If he thinks he needs to roll a little outside, he'll roll a little outside. If it needs to be tighter, he'll do that. He ends up with the race win and the day with the fast lap of the race. John Burke coming home in second. I think for Burke, likely because you're going to pull your points up. I'm hoping that Burke had his head. Well, I'm good because
it's not. Oh, mathematically, unofficially, again, it's not.
He doesn't have it yet.
It's if you were to factor in the drop, he does not have it mathematically clinched.
All right, listen, you go. Come on,
so
man.
It's 303 points. So 320 points is a perfect score, thus not a clinched.
So if Burke went to Mexican tonight and got like serious
food poisoning.
Oh,
great. Yeah, we went to Mexican too. Thanks.
So who's P2? You say it's got Morgan. Morgan second. Wow, all right. But what's the lead?
Well, if you look at overall points, obviously it's less than 100, but when you factor in a drop, you're talking 303 points that Burke is ahead. So
he's in pretty good shape.
So he's in good shape, but it's not mathematically.
If he qualifies in the poll, it's done, right?
If he qualifies in the poll, it would be done because he keeps those 10 points from
somebody else.
So yeah. So
there you go.
Again, tomorrow, he'll obviously just go around, make some laps, don't do anything stupid, and it's essentially yours.
So the big thing about Burke, big run, I wanted to throw this out here real quick just because I have this here. But this is what Burke needs to do, Dave. Burke needs to do this. He needs to stay in front.
Jesus.
Burke needs to stay in front of everybody in front of him. Pardon me. Sorry, that's a picture of me
really
being in front of David at the
because everybody wants to see that
at the Indianapolis.
Shout out to
Stephen Flatt.
Shout out to Stephen Flatt.
And shout out to Comet for our Comet Eagles.
Along with Colton.
This should be a t-shirt. Should be like a hashtag Beat David Cole t-shirt. Don't you think so?
No.
Well,
I'm glad you're stalling with antics like this. Thanks.
I'm
only on K Senior right now. There's a lot to do. I told you if I'm done by midnight, it'll be a good night.
You're doing a great job, David. And by the way, I want to throw this out there, Racing for Vets, folks. A fantastic program. We did a podcast with them. If you haven't seen it, go to our YouTube page. You can learn all about that. Andrew Zimmer says, I'll buy one. Please do it, guys. Or we'll figure out how you can buy Racing for Vets t-shirts. But if you look at GoFundMe and Racing for Vets. Read about it. Watch the podcast. Unbelievable. We want to do more stuff for them, but they gave us these t-shirts here when we were in Indy. And, man, I'm telling you, this is an amazing program. Do me a favor, look at it. Matt Langford said, Burke only 35 points ahead of Morgan, according to my math. Better check that spreadsheet. I think you better check yours, Matt.
Say that again?
He says, Matt says, Burke only 35 points ahead of Morgan, according to my math. Better check that spreadsheet.
We pause this show for a quick commercial break. Stay tuned for more here on the EKN Radio Network. In racing, experience is priceless. Franklin Motorsports is a leader in the karting industry with over 50 years of combined karting experience, and we can provide you with everything you need to go racing. With a large online product selection, select track support events, and a wide variety of shop services, Franklin Motorsports is your complete karting source. Check out our online store at franklinkart.com, where all our products are just a mouse click away. We ship daily to ensure that you get your order as quickly as possible, and we are constantly adding new products to our online store. We specialize in IAME engines, Tillett seats, ceramic product line, OTK products, Briggs & Stratton engines, and of course, our championship-winning Merlin chassis. In our online store, you'll find a variety of items to fit your karting needs. Franklin Motorsports is also known for our wide variety of services and is home to Innovative Engine Works by FMS, our in-house engine service department. Frame straightening, kart prep, and dyno testing are all services offered regularly at Franklin Motorsports. For all things karting, visit franklinkart.com. Powered by technology, DID racing chains have a worldwide reputation for superior quality and reliability. Meticulously engineered and manufactured in Japan, DID genuine parts are the world's #1 original parts supplier for Japanese and European motorcycle manufacturers. A rich racing tradition where results speak for themselves, DID prides itself on engineering the most technologically advanced chains on the market to help you excel on and off the track. DID's SDH pin treatment creates an extremely hard chromium carbide layer on the pin surface that houses a soft inner core to absorb extreme shock loads. DID's 219 HTZ racing chain boasts this SDH pin technology, which leads to longer chain life as well as excellent energy transmission to the wheels. Available in the gorgeous gold, the 219 HTZ is the ultimate racing kart chain. Pick up a DID chain at your local dealer today, because when winning is the only thing that matters, go with DID. Every winter, young drivers take the leap up to the next class. Whether it's micro to mini, mini to junior, or the big jump from junior into the senior ranks, it's tougher competition. If your son or daughter are moving up a class in 2020, give them exactly what they need to be ready. Professional coaching from the most respected teacher in the sport. With over 30 years of karting experience, Alan Rudolph and his staff at the Alan Rudolph Racing Academy specialize in training young racers and accelerating their skills so that they're ready for the next challenge. Don't just invest in equipment, invest in your driver. Bring them to the Alan Rudolph Racing Academy at Speed Sports Racing Park in Houston and invest in their skill development. Get them ready to take on that next on-track challenge, better prepared than ever. Get ready for 2020 by calling the Alan Rudolph Racing Academy at 866-607-7223. Head to speedsportsracingpark.com to learn more. Thank you for listening to the EKN Radio Network. We now join the show already in progress.
I don't know what he's talking about.
Yeah, I don't either. That's fine. We do our own spreadsheet. We're good. So everybody has their own spreadsheet. We'll figure it out later on. Let's move to
again. Everything we do is unofficial.
Oh,
because
yeah.
You can see
EKN is all unofficial. Trust me, we're all unofficial. I'm sure they'll.
Your driving is unofficial.
SKUSA will have the results and the championship for you sometime in late November.
That's bad.
Maybe the week after. It'll be probably the week after. We try to get it for you as fast as we can. Mini Swift brought to you by Leading Edge Motorsports. 3-driver breakaway, big time for sure. Max Garcia, Parker DeLong, and Salim Hanna. David able to get away to the early lead. Not surprising. Again, the kind of shook out a little bit. As I remember, Garcia, and that was, they actually did it. You know, we talk about it all the time. Hey, just get into a group, pull away, and drop the guy in the back. Pull, drop, pull, drop. It's the idea of it's the cycling peloton. There's 30 guys. You make the breakaway, you drop a couple. It keeps getting smaller. Mm-hmm. Eventually, it was Garcia and DeLong that were able to pull away.
No, 3 drivers because
but they started to pull on Honda, but then
the final lap.
He
closed up.
Yeah, Salim Hanna was there to get back in the fight, which was great. Wild finish, and this was a thing that
I predicted.
How's that? Tell us about that.
No, I don't want to tell you. I just
said, you predicted
we knew we were going to have great finishes because of the reverse national.
You did, yeah. So 12, 13, 14. I wasn't sure.
And I think tomorrow will be even better because it's the last chance. Chance for love.
You realize that's online right now.
It is.
People are going to be able to take that.
That's forever. There's a lot of bad things on the internet.
That's true. And you trying to karaoke is part of it. Garcia led, paced the whole thing, and DeLong. I'll give DeLong a lot of props because he didn't go anywhere. Right, he wasn't getting aggressive, didn't push, didn't swap, was able to pull away. They dropped Hanna for a while. Finally, when they started getting back at it, it got tight. DeLong makes the move to the inside of turn number 12, which all of a sudden you're crisscrossing, and Hanna was a little bit back. But the minute you make that move to the inside of 12, and they all catches everybody up. I honestly thought Salim Hanna was going to get it at one point. So he makes the move to the inside. They come back to the left-hander, and Hanna goes way wide and crosses back. And literally, I almost lost my voice. I cracked it. They were literally 3 wide coming in at 12.
And Garcia, 13. I think Garcia was actually in the grass while they were going 3 wide.
We couldn't quite see that.
It's a bad vantage point from where we are, but it looked like Garcia was in the grass. Because I think him and DeLong pushed out wide.
And Hanna's on the inside.
Hanna just drove to what would have been the inside of the exit, but yet the outside of the next one.
Had he had just a little bit more, just pitch across and drive.
Could have hold the outside.
Drive them all into the grass.
Yeah.
It ended up being Salim Hanna actually got by Max Garcia, which not surprising.
I think Garcia was
in the grass. They had to bring it back on. So they bring it back on, then turn. You're right. DeLong, though, with the win by 0.07 of a second for Parker. We'll go to David's numbers in a second. Parker DeLong, Salim Hanna, Max Garcia, 1, 2, 3. Caleb Gafera was in the fight early, but then they getting shuffled back a bit. He and actually Sebastian Welda lined up, and good on Sebastian because again he started in the back and worked his way back forward. a good qualifying effort for Sebastian tomorrow. He could go for a race win. I'm going to say that straight up, right?
I mean, he's been quick all Friday and today. So, I think really it boils down to
qualifying. That's out of top 10 every time.
So
he needs a good run. He needs you know what? Probably not with the right guys when he rolls out.
And that could be it. I mean, as we see a lot of times in all the classes, even X30 Senior, a lot of guys who just get mixed in with the wrong group that they're just not able to pull out the right amount of speed to be able to.
And you only get a couple laps. We know it's only 7 minutes.
Well, it's 4, and that's the thing about this event. You get 7 minutes on the racetrack, so you're getting maybe 4 to possibly 5 if you go straight out. Right.
That's right. That's very true. So Gaffera ends up 4th, Weldon in 5th. Gaffera with fast lap of the race. Both those drivers running together, and they were strong. In the end, Parker along with the race win. And what does that mean in the championship, David?
Oh, I gotta go there now.
Go back to my
hold on.
Mini. David's ahead of us a little bit by a couple. We may not have it all updated.
We're not going to have it all.
No, sorry.
It's not clinched.
It's not clinched for Parker DeLong.
Garcia's still in the hunt.
All right. Is only Garcia in the hunt?
Yes, only Garcia. So essentially it's boiled down to the 2 drivers. I mean, Garcia's still in it, but just going to need a lot of help. I can't do math right now.
You can just fill stuff in, right?
Yeah, I'm just filling in numbers, so I don't know.
I'm loving David. I should trying to do math right now.
So 255 when you factor in.
What's that mean? He's
so that's the gap. So if Garcia were to drop one of his races right now, it's 255.
All right.
That's not clinched yet.
So it's not clinched, but
it's a large margin.
Again,
so
it's very similar to the first race. All right, good stuff. All right, and we don't have notes for everything because we got to notes, we got rolling, we're doing other things, we're rocking and rolling. What?
Just laughing at it.
I got a lot of notes, but I was also kind of watching the Indy 500 qualifying.
You were distracted.
I was watching the Indy 500 qualifying because I love it when a guy that we've had in the SKUSA Pro Tour, like an Oliver Askew, is out there racing. I think that's absolutely fantastic. It's amazing. It's great stuff. Okay, so KA100 Senior, David, I do have notes for that one. And what I liked was the fact that
there's not much you need to write down.
Just Arias Digmejian and Luca Mars pulling out. I had them pulling out to it. They honestly had almost a full second early, 0.6 of a second by lap number 6. That was the initial deal. I'm like, okay, these guys are pulling out. This is going to be a good race. We're going to see a 2-driver breakaway. They're making this thing happen.
There's a guy named
I don't know what you say about
Kid named
Bryson Morris. So that's really been kind of the break. Anytime you have a Pro Tour weekend, there's always kind of a story that we're able to run away with, right? Where somebody has broke through. And when you break through, then, sometimes as you break through the race, and then the next race 3 months down the line, they've got more confidence coming in. This is kind of an opportunity for a kid to come out of the gate. Bryson Morris scoring the X30 junior race win in the Summer Nationals last year, the first weekend, right? Round 5, Saturday. I think he won the Saturday race, I believe. Just going to throw
That's a good question.
I think it was Saturday.
I want to say it was Sunday.
I think it was Saturday. But
do you want me to take a break and find out for you while you talk?
Do that.
Okay.
I think it was Saturday when Bryson won. It could have been Sunday. The bottom line is he gets on a big roll here early last weekend and keeps it going. Much different track configuration. I'm making the comparison a little bit to Joseph Newgarden because the kid from Tennessee coming up here to run to Newcastle because it's the closest sprint track he can run on. He knows this racetrack. He's strong here. David, you talked about that from the get-go that Morris was going to be strong here. You said that. And so Digmejian and Mars pull away. Morris starts getting in a roll, reels the leaders in, catches them, passes them for the lead. Crazy last lap battle for him to be able to come through, as I remember in my notes.
You were right. It was Saturday.
Look at it. Even Jason Morris says.
First time you're right. It was a Saturday.
Thanks, Jason. I appreciate that.
I found it before he did.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure Jason had to find it. I'm sure it was in his head.
Just like all the lost wheels he's had.
There you go. I don't know about that, but David does. That's fantastic. As I remember, as the kind of thing finished off as well, Bryson able to pull away to a certain extent, and then Lemke and Digmejian and Mars get into a fight over the last couple of corners for the last position. It ends up being a 2-second win for Bryson Morris. David will, of course, go to the points and talk about it. Bryson with the fast lap of the race as well. The cool thing for me is that, I was able to do the interview with Bryson, and it's the first time I've done one with him. Even not even talking like one of our podcasts, and we had a great interview, and I thought it was fantastic. If you got a chance to talk to Bryce, a young kid with a ton of talent right now, and I guarantee you people are going to be looking at this kid right now. David, where is he? K100 senior. Is it locked?
Are we going to the envelope? We're going to the envelope.
The envelope, please.
Yes.
Is he got it? Unofficially, he's the champion.
Yes, unofficially.
Damn.
Brandon Lemke is so far sitting second. And again, it's the when you factor in the drop, the margin is well over the 320 points.
So there you go. Unofficially, Bryson Morris is the champion in the K100 senior category. And I know you won't get down to senior by the time we're said and done. I got to think he's really close in that category as well.
I'm on micro, so talk more.
That's what you asked me to do a lot. There was a bunch of penalties, David. Jump start penalties. I'm not sure what that even means. Oh.
Well, again, because we have the jump start.
I'm not sure what that means.
Who was it? It was who lost it?
What's that?
Who lost it because of the jump start penalty at the Super Nationals?
Oh, Lorenzo Travis in Utah.
There you go.
That's right. That was a bullshit call, too.
Oh.
Did I just say that?
You just swore it.
Come on. Let's listen.
So I can sing and you can swear.
Can I say this out there straight up like I've said before? There's no way you should be able to get a jump start penalty if you're on pole.
No, not if you're on.
I don't care if it's carts or cars. That's my opinion. I really believe that.
How does the Road to Indy handle that?
To be honest, there's been a driver who's got a jump start penalty before and had to do a drive through.
That's
I know that Oliver Askew got one, and the rule I think was jump start. I want to say the rule was actually drive through, but they didn't give him a drive through penalty, which is
favoritism.
A mistake there as well. I hate a drive through. Come on, if you jump start from the pole, make it 2-3 seconds, like literally.
So a pushback bumper penalty for jumping the start.
Yeah, but I still don't think. Again, I'm a stock car guy. You come out of at a stock car track.
Agree.
As you roll into 3, there's a line there. That's where you punch off. Give the pole sitter the advantage for winning the pole. It just doesn't make any sense to me. It never does. All right. So moving to micro. What, you're not done yet?
I'm almost done with micro.
So that this is where we're at, right? Micro. So like we're gonna blow through micro. We're not gonna get it. He goes. I go. Let's get started right now. And I'm saying what? And
nobody wants to listen.
He goes. I go. Dude, we got to start pretty soon. It's like 10 o'clock.
People on the West Coast, it's 7 o'clock.
There's lots of guys tuning in. This is good.
Yeah.
This is solid. I don't think Mini's going to be micro's going to be a deal. Like it's you keep working because this I want to know this one. Micro, what do I got here? Top 3 together at the start. Battle for battle in turn 4 for the win. That's what it comes down to. David, you remember the feel of this particular race in the micro swift category? It was early on. I thought some guys were moving to the forefront. I'm like, it's going to be great.
There's 3-driver breakaway.
It's a 3-driver, the breakaway. But then we go into the end of the race, and it's Asher Osteen, Vivek Canthan, and Jack Iliff.
Yeah. Iliff led the majority of the race at the point. Vivek was third because I think he started a little bit further back because he came from last in qualifying because he didn't make a lap because there was an incident through a red flag.
Yep.
He was getting checked out by the EMT, perfectly fine. But so he came from last to 6th in the pre-final and knifed his way up, got up into 3rd, and was behind Iliff and Osteen. Osteen.
I'm saying Osteen. I was right.
Yes, I wanted to say the name right.
Yep.
And basically sat there until about 3 laps to go, and then made his move in the 2nd, and essentially with 2 laps to go, moved into 1st. And then the last lap, it was everybody going after the lead. And
if I'm not mistaken, I have to go back. I think Osteen was 3rd, right? I think Vivek,
Osteen,
and then he goes all the way to the lead.
Vivek was 1st, going into scoreboard.
Yep.
Iliff,
2nd.
He ran defensive, I think, and Iliff tried to do the over/under, and Osteen was 3rd.
No, I think didn't Osteen go all the way down the inside to take the most? And as they came out of the corner, Osteen goes from 3rd to 1st, so he gets by both Iliff and Vivek.
You're right, he did.
Comes around the corner, gets out of the corner, and then of course Vivek's coming in, and Jack's coming in. Well, Jack tries to get the run out of the corner as you would, like over/under. These guys rolled me. I'm getting the run. And it kind of all I know from where we are, because we're looking right at it from this top of the scale tower, climbing up the back of Vivek, and then all of a sudden it was one of those deals where it just shot in the air, a full up and over, and Jack ends up upside down underneath the cart. And I think, as we know, all of us know, when it comes to micro carts, the weight is heavy. The carts have a lot of weight on them. It's on top of him. He's not really getting out. He's not really moving very much. Sierra Ebert, I think, was the one that ran over from the front of the grid, pulls the cart off. Another SKUSA worker's there. And Jack actually gets up. She tried to carry him off the track real quickly. He gets up, sits down, and he's beat. We talked to his dad tonight, a little bit beaten up. And I feel super bad for Jack because, man, there was an opportunity to lock it right there, right? He was going to have it done in that particular category, which is pretty interesting. In the end, it's a DNF for him, but he still has really good points at two wins in 2 seconds.
It's going to be a great championship day tomorrow.
You think anybody has anything for him?
I have the numbers.
Ocean's got 2 wins, right?
I have the numbers.
All right, go.
We pause this show for a quick commercial break. Stay tuned for more here on the EKN Radio Network. If the dream is IndyCar, set your target on the Road to Indy presented by Cooper Tires. Our ladder system is designed to take drivers through 3 rungs of competition. The first step is the Cooper Tires USF 2000 Championship, which features a carbon tub Tatis chassis, 180 horsepower, and a paddle-shift sequential gearbox. Boost the USF 2000's output to 280 horsepower for the Indy Pro 2000 program, the second rung on the Road to Indy. Add in increased grip and aero downforce, and the Tatis PM18 becomes an incredible training machine. The final step before IndyCar is the Indy Lights Championship presented by Cooper Tires. The Dallara IL-15 boasts a whopping 450 horsepower. This car itself has helped train a third of the grid expected for the 2020 IndyCar Series. At all 3 levels, you race at premier venues on the same dance card as IndyCar. Showcase your skills under the watchful eyes of IndyCar scouts and owners. Former karters fill the roster of Road to Indy graduates in IndyCar, like Joseph Newgarden, Pato O'Ward, Connor Daly, Zach Beach, Jack Harvey, Felix Rosenquist, Colton Herta, Charlie Kimball, Renus VK, and 2019 Indy Lights champion Oliver Askew. Racing karting graduates like Kyle Kirkwood and Braden Eves are in the middle of their journeys right now as well. Follow in their footsteps. If you want to race IndyCar, there is only one choice: the Road to Indy, presented by Cooper Tires. In 2020, PSL Karting will enter its 21st year of serving the North American karting community, and they're proud to be North America's importer and distributor for the legendary Burrell Art brand, having once again won Burrell Art's Distributor of the Year. PSL Karting is your source for all things Burrell Art, providing this top quality product both through their expansive dealer network or through their own PSLkarting.com online store. We have over 100 carts in stock at all times, including the new Charles Leclerc line of carts carrying the name of Ferrari's Formula One pilot. PSL Karting can provide you with a Burrell Art, Ricardo, or Charles Leclerc turnkey package with an IAME, Rotax, Rock, or Briggs power plant, complete and ready to race. Whatever you need is available 24/7 at our online store, including parts and components, consumables like AMSOIL, Motul, and Rotax XPS engine oil, and Vroom lubricants, Micron data acquisition systems and Unipro, and driver safety gear from Bell, Arai, Freem, and Alpine Stars. Trackside, we're also the karting distributor for Bell Racing USA. Our race trailer is always stocked with Bell helmets and components. Arrive and Drive programs, supported by PSL's experienced staff and in-house engine program, are available for all major US and Canadian events. When you're ready to win, call PSL Karting or visit one of our dealers. Top-level production with a focus on a single form of motorsports: karting. This is MG Tires. MG Tires USA, underneath the Vantage Karting Group banner, is the official distributor of the MG Tires brand for the United States. MG Tires are the official spec tire in the United States Pro Kart Series, Route 66 Sprint Series, Sunshine State Karting Challenge, and countless clubs across the country. No matter your compound preference, MG Tires USA has you covered. The 2020 season brings a new homologation period, featuring new names for the same superior products. Whether it's the medium SH Red, the soft SM Yellow, the super soft green SS, or the intermediate white IZ, MG Tires USA has your winning set of rubber in stock. Indoor and outdoor rental facilities can now trust MG Tires with their solution for long-lasting and the best performance, with 3 different compounds available through the RL line. For more info about MG Tires USA and its extensive list of dealers near you, check out their website at mgtiresusa.com. MG Tires, for the drivers. Thank you for listening to the EKN Radio Network. We now join the show already in progress.
I mean, if you look at total points right now, they're separated by 23 points. So you factor in drops. I think they've all kind of had a bad race, with Osteen having a 217 as a drop right now. Iliff with the 162 today. So that's his drop race today. And then Vivek has a drop race of 240 from round 1. So they're essentially, when you factor in the drops, Iliff is up top by about 55 points.
Wow.
So again, but that's when you factor in the drop. So,
okay, there you go.
Canthan is right now the points leader overall when you look at total points. Iliff in third, Asher in second. But when you factor in the drops, it basically third to first, second stays the same, and first to third. So tomorrow's going to be pretty interesting. It's going to be, essentially Vivek and Osteen have to go out and get the points that they need.
So again, like we've said before, if Iliff gets the pole, there's that 10 points there. Got to start grabbing all the points you can. And the thing about SKUSA Racing is the fact there's so many points, right, David, in that pre-final, 100 points to win a pre-final. You've got to get in there and get it all done. So that's again, so we're in the middle of a fight with the micro swift category, which is great. I like that. All right, shifter. Which one do you want to start with? Where are you with the numbers?
I'm not ready with the numbers.
All right, we're not ready with the numbers whatsoever.
You can talk about the race.
All right. And I have absolutely zero notes in this one here because it was crazy.
Well, so I'll take a break from the points.
Go.
So essentially, it was a wild one from the very beginning to the very end. Well, not to the end, but very beginning with AJ Myers jumped out to the lead, got the whole shot from the pole position. So essentially, the day belonged to AJ Myers. Became the first driver to score 2 wins over this Groundhog Day period, and so he's essentially established himself as the championship leader with 2 wins. But some contact happened in lap 2, I believe, between Danny Formal and Grace Liberante.
I had no idea. Like literally, where I'm announcing from. We have 2 windows, and we literally can't see the
corner of the building. We can't see it. But
go. This is interesting.
Well, I guess what happened was Formal and Liberante were racing one another towards I-70, and at the kink, Formal and them got together, and essentially Formal did like a 180 and was facing the wrong way, and then Liberante hit him, spun him around. Liberante went off the racetrack, nearly into the pond, up and over, almost into I-70 itself. And Formal spun back around the right direction and continued going. And he said he was sideways and backwards at 90 miles an hour, and it freaked him the hell out. And he said it was probably the scariest incident he
said that. I can't believe that.
And so
I'm led with that. You go, it was the scariest. I'm like, you got to fill me in. What happened? Like, I didn't understand it.
Yeah. So I'd love to see some onboard footage of it just to make sense of what exactly transpired. But for somehow there was tire marks on Danny's rear bumper. So in all the chaos, Liberante hit his rear bumper and whatever. So that kind of sent everybody
scrambling,
schmozzling around. I had to throw one in.
Yeah, do it.
And they came back towards the scoreboard corner. I believe it was the same lap. And you had Rory Vandersteer.
That's right.
Andrew Bedozo and Kyle Wick, and they all kind of took that shallow line as shifters typically do into a hairpin. And Bedoza was essentially the ping pong ball between Rory and Wick.
And you said Wick was like going in.
And
right.
I mean, they were all going to the same bottom inside of the corner before even the apex. So just getting to the bottom. And essentially, Bedoza went up and over Rory as Wick was pushing him from behind and set Bedoza sideways, up and over, and backwards off the racetrack.
And I saw the end of it. I looked over and Andrew's getting the cart back up on the track and get back in it again.
So that really shuffled up the lead group and allowed Myers obviously to kind of check out and drive away with a victory. Formal, after he shook all the cobwebs off in a couple laps, continued on and went on to finish second. But and then Wick ended up finishing in third.
And Vanderster pushed him the rest of the way. Like Vanderster was there a couple lengths off the whole time.
But again, there was a little bit of controversy. Everybody was expecting some kind of type of call to be made, and nothing was called. So I think this category we're going to see a lot of ruling, personal.
You think the boys will take it amongst themselves?
Yeah, settle things their own way.
Oh, I like that. All
so
right.
We'll see what happens tomorrow.
I like that for the next race.
But again, it's pro shifter. We kind of respect that.
Let them police.
Let
them police themselves. Yeah.
I mean, if that's the way they're gonna kind of call the race, I mean, why not?
I like that.
And obviously, you want to take in safety aspects first.
Yeah.
As long as everything is safe, why not?
Let them go. Jake French struggled a little bit with some tires. Didn't have a good feel of the tires that set he had. End up P5. In the Pro 2 category, I think one of the cool stories we got going on this weekend is the arrival of Josh Pearson. Again, X30 Junior National number 3 last year, and I don't think that he didn't win any races. It was really more of a consistent run. Mm-hmm. Kids grow up in different levels, and whatever happens, he's jumped behind the wheel of this shifter cart with Mike Rawlson, this Cosmic, and he has come alive. Now he's doing some USF 2000 racing, and he's just learning about that, doing a lot of testing. So it's not like he's up there battling it out with those cats. He's running, at the back of the pack and learning USF 2000. Man, jumps into the shifter cart, and let's be honest, he's been doing a lot of racing up at Pat's Acres as well with Pat's, running with Cowick. Cowick actually told me in a club race they ran. Josh actually passed him in a club race. And listen, you got to give props for that. And even with Kyle saying that Josh has done a great job really taking the shifter. And that's something that we saw earlier in my career when I was doing the Shifter Cart magazine. Drivers would come out at a single speed, the young kids, and get into a shifter cart. And that's all they wanted to do. That's not something that people do anymore. And I think that if more kids did that, they understand how badass it is to run a shifter. There's nothing like it. Once you get into shifter, you don't want to go back and do anything else. And that happens a lot. Josh ends up battling it out with Jake French. He was fighting with Jake French for a while there. Like literally was in front of Jake French. Jake finally able to get by, but you're talking about running with a guy with countless national wins. Jake, of course, one of the best drivers in the country. Josh ends up with the win by 2.5 seconds in the Pro Shifter 2 category. Chente Salas on the factory cart was battling out as well. He's having a really, really good run here. Anthony Freese, I'm happy that he gets a top 3 after the crap that happened to him in the race on Friday, where he essentially got taken out in the first corner.
Yeah, just had a lot of bad luck on his side, but it's a bit. Again, that's another category that's really close. I got the numbers for pro shifters, so essentially AJ Myers leading over Rory Vanderster by over 100 points, just under 100 points. Okay. But again, when you factor in the drops, everything kind of closes up. But really between those two. Formal still has an outside shot, but needs some help. Okay. But again, you never know what's going to happen in that category.
That's very, very true. Behind Salas and Freese, the podium, Gavin Baylor finishing in 4th, Jason Enrique in 5th. I didn't see what happened to Baylor Griffin. I'm not sure if you did or not. There was something happened over in the cell tower corner. All I know is that in the chaos following the leaders around, of course, we have 4 different categories I'm trying to call as they come through. And watching the leaders come through, all I know is I looked up, and again, Griffin is off the racetrack probably by 30 or 40 feet, and he is pissed. He was livid. He was hands up in the air. I don't know who got into him, but he was not happy at all. If anybody from the Griffin camp is online watching us here, feel free to drop it into the comments. I'd love to know what happened to Baylor. He was pissed. There's no doubt about that. In the G1 category, it was Barnes and Rook battling it out again, and I think you said that on lap 9, midway through the race, Rook had a rear gear spin.
Sprocket.
Yeah, Sprocket spun. So he and Barnes were going back and forth again, though. It was like turn 6 back. It was great racing. I love watching those guys go at it. In the G2 category, Nathan Stewart actually lost his streak of topping every session
In qualifying.
Yeah. Battling with, he hurt the back a little bit. He's told me on in the weekend before coming over the ski jump, it's kind of settling in a little bit. But in the main event, something happened. Did you say there was an engine issue?
Yeah, engine issue. So they'll obviously look at maybe going to a backup engine or whatever they need to do. But yeah, was going down the straightaway and decided to not go anymore.
At the end, Justin Peck, the SKUSA Winter Series champion, scoring the victory. Ken Schilling in second. Nathan Stewart, as we said, DNF in third. 3 drivers in the class. X30 Junior, David. I do have some notes on this one. I think it's my last of my notes. What I got out of the gate again was at the start, Alex Stanfield strong, Max Opolsky, Carson Morgan pulling away together as the trio, and they really kind of stretched away. A 3-second lead by the halfway point. And again, one of the things, and I think I want to say that I said early on that the second group was being paced by Brent Cruz. And I wanted to say something to the effect of, listen, if that second group needs some pace, they better follow Brent Cruz, because this is the guy that can always get the job done, always seems to reel himself back in. And he did exactly that, starting to get closer and closer and closer and closer. But in the end, it was, again, I've got Morgan takes the lead with 2 laps to go. Stanfield back to third, and then takes second back in turn number 6. And then, of course, we went full block mode. That was one of the things that I thought was crazy in the last couple laps. I was trying to write down the top 3.
Yeah, I was going to say,
there was a penalty, right? Was it Opolsky? Opolsky DQ. Opolsky was in there. So where did he get a DQ for? I didn't see that. I was going to write down the top 3. I want to say it was a 3-driver battle. The bottom
it just says technical infraction. But he also had a pushback bumper penalty, so he would have been.
If that's a technical infraction, you can't drop that either.
Well, he already had that with the weight. I don't know if it was in this category.
We talked about that
yesterday.
Okay.
Yeah, he's essentially. I think he's essentially out of both points championships. So.
Okay, so here's the one thing, and I'll throw this out. So the final lap coming out of turn number 11. I said this before. 12, 13, 14, really, really tough to pass. And again, we're not the officials. We're just throwing out what I saw from where I was. As they come down the straightaway, Morgan's got the lead. Out of turn number 11, moves to there is a, I want to say, what is it, like a sealant? There's like a sealant line in the middle of the track, so it's pretty easy to see. It's almost like a painted line in the middle of a road. Carson moves this way, and Carson moves back a bit. Not all the way back, but he moves back a little bit. I call it a full defense, like he goes to the inside, and I don't. To me, that's the second move. No, that didn't get. I don't think that got called. But anyways, back for so and then he drives the complete inside of the racetrack coming through, and it was a full block mode. Stanfield's all over top of him, like literally. I thought it was. It could have been a bump and run anyway. I'm going to give props to Alex, because if that's a senior race, someone's getting moved, because it was block. You're going to get pushed here. I don't know. Again,
that's what you need to do.
Yeah, again, pushback bumper. Nobody's worried about it. You're a junior driver. Maybe you haven't had a chance to run like that a lot. Alex did a good job. Didn't get into the back of Carson, but it was block. So, and again, that's okay. But Alex wasn't in the place to over under at the right spot, and I think that maybe, unless you've done it a couple times there, like I don't know what I would have did either, because it was just like you got to go way wide to make the inside move. And
well, Rob, just again, this is the first time we've done the reverse national.
That's it. Right?
Nobody's used to. They're used to waiting till the I-70 corner, drafting and passing. And then this is providing a new element, a new challenge for these drivers to learn
so
how to adapt to.
If Stanfield's in that position tomorrow, he's going to be different, I would think. I think you'd learn that.
Well,
or
it depends on if you learn or not.
Again, that just seemed like a big bump. Could have been a big bump and run. I mean, Morgan with the win. Anyways, and again, that like I said, the move I saw was obviously not enough for the SKUSA officials to think it was a block. So that's not for me to say. I'm just saying what I saw on the racetrack. They make the final call. Morgan with the win. Stanfield second. Brent Cruz 6.5 back. Able to hold. Frankie Mossman did a great job. Mossman was there. I really thought that potentially Cruz and everybody else could kind of close up. I'll give props to Opolsky, Morgan, Stanfield. Literally didn't race each other. for the entire time.
Yeah.
Which if they had, those guys were coming forward. In my mind, Cruz was leading them. They were coming up. They didn't. They just literally ran together, which I thought was pretty solid. Stanfield led the way the whole time. Maybe that's part of the thing for Stanfield too. He never really had a chance to be behind anybody because he was getting pushed the entire time.
Still part of it.
Mossman in 4th spot. Jack Jeffers in 5th. Anywhere close to the points on this, or are you still working away at it?
I just started it. I just finished up the shifter, so now I'm on X30 here.
I don't know that we'll need to talk a lot about the points in the next categories. I'll blast through these really quickly. Nick Tucker with the win in K100 Master. Jonathan Silva in 2nd. Ron Jenkins 3rd. Again, Silva pushed Tucker. They kind of pulled away a little bit. Pushed Tucker the entire time. Actually swapped back and forth. At one point, they changed the lead quite a bit. But then again, in the last lap, Silva was there, but just wasn't able to make the pass. Kind of got balked up coming out of turn 10 into 11. Lost the gap. Didn't get a good run out of 10. And I think he was thinking about trying to make a move in 11, but didn't do it. Yep. And the indecision, the gap was again, 3/10 of a second. Scott Roberts really kind of handled the entire race in X30 Master. Miguel Mir was right there. Adam Pettit. Again, Sal Sparcio had an issue. Him and I think Ariel Castro got together and
just as a green flag,
right to the turn 2, turn 3. Castro's off the racetrack. Sparcio ends up P4. Took a couple of fast laps. He was purple a couple of times, but was quite a ways back. Pettit really just couldn't challenge him. He was right there. His top 3 were separated by a second for a lot of the time, and Scott Roberts ended up getting the race win. That's one that's probably done too, I would think. And Roberts was 3 wins now?
Yes.
4 wins.
We pause this show for a quick commercial break. Stay tuned for more here on the EKN Radio Network. All over the karting world, everyone knows OTK is the gold standard for quality and performance. In the U.S., OTK USA is the source for all things OTK. From the legendary Tony Kart brand to the race-winning Cosmic and Esprit chassis, and the new for 2020 in the US, the Red Speed and the EOS, OTK quality is second to none. All 5 brands are winning races and championships across the country in national programs like the Rock Cup Florida Winter Tour and the Challenge of the Americas, the SKUSA Pro Tour and the SKUSA Winter Series, and the Pro Kart Challenge, and the United States Pro Kart Series and the WK Manufacturers Cup. And OTK products are also front and center on the podium of club and regional races from coast to coast. To learn more about a specific product line or to find the OTK USA dealer near you, whether it's Tony Kart, Cosmic, Esprit, Red Speed, or EOS, visit www.otkusa.com. Specific chassis territories are still available, so kart shops interested in adding a winning component to their product lineups can contact OTK directly.
History, success, family. Those are the 3 words that describe Comet Kart Sales, one of the longest tenured karting businesses in the United States. The family-owned operation is located just outside of Indianapolis, and they have provided karts, parts, and services for thousands of racers throughout their near 6 decades of business. Comet's online store features everything you need, continually adding new parts to their product line. Comet Kart Sales attends dozens of karting events every year, offering trackside service for racers and families. Karting veterans Mark Dismore Jr. and Gary Lawson provide one-on-one driver coaching and tuning assistance for each trackside customer. The engine building business, Comet Racing Engines, has won countless major events and championships over decades of karting, and they continue to offer the best trackside service in the industry. Make sure you head to CometKartSales.com or call them at 317-462-3413 to be a part of the Comet Kart Sales family today.
What's a key factor to reaching the top step of the podium? Driver development. And if that's the case, ANSA Motorsports can raise your game and guide you to the checkered flag. Based in the Miami, Florida area, ANSA Motorsports is a top-level road racing team with experienced ownership and success in IMSA, the Pirelli World Challenge, and other forms of car racing. And for 2020, their new ANSA Motorsports kart racing team is ready to hit the road. Three-time SKUSA Super National champion Danny Formal leads the operation and is ready to bring your skill set to the next level. ANSA Motorsports is a Charles Leclerc chassis dealer, and they have arrive and drive packages tailored around your needs. Development begins in karting, and the team has the internal ladder system to take you from karts to cars, right through to IMSA prototype racing. Join Formal, owner Patrick Otto Madsen, and the other ANSA Motorsports drivers for the month of August at the Rock Cup USA Rockfest East in Charlotte and the double weekend event for the SuperKarts USA Pro Tour in Indiana. Contact them today at ansamotorsports.com. Ready for more? Join ANSA Motorsports. Thank you for listening to the EKN Radio Network. We now join the show already in progress.
I think 4 wins
4 or 5.
and one,
Yeah, 4.
and one for Adam Pettit. That's probably done as well. X30 Senior. That's it. Let's wrap it up as X30 Senior.
Do we have to talk about that class?
What?
Nice.
We don't. You don't want to.
Just making a joke. It's a very bad.
In the end, that race, a couple things I saw that I thought were really solid. Number one, Ryan Norberg. Even though Ryan's obviously not going to win the championship this year, not going to get his 5th straight championship because his teammate Bryson Morris has been ridiculously good. Norberg was back and just kind of worked his way for it. And I think I mentioned in the broadcast, I haven't seen a Norberg style race out of him yet because normally he qualifies really well, runs up front. You know, we've seen this in many. Look back at Utah, Spring Nats last year, other races where he has just dominated the action.
Mm-hmm.
Really has flat, run out front, dominated, pulled away. None of that over these last 2 weeks. He's not been that guy, but he's been consistent. I think when you do the results, you'll see that he is third. I think it was he was like 5th, 4th, 3rd.
He was second in the points going into the
weekend. Yeah.
Into today.
So there you go. So he's been strong, consistent, but hasn't had that dominating stuff that we've seen out of him over the years he won 4 straight championships.
No, that's gone to another driver under the tent.
Yeah, but first and foremost, Arias Dugmedjian, Christian Brooks, Braden Eves, Luca Mars. Those are the guys who were at the front for majority of the race. The guy we're going to end up talking about, of course, Bryson Morris, who's already got K100 pretty much locked up, was kind of hanging back there a little bit and started working his way forward. And like I said, you watch the race up front, Dugmedjian, Christian Brooks, Braden Eves, Brooks, multi-time race winner, Braden Eves, 3-time Pro Tour winner. Both these kids have gone on the road to Indy, are going to be stars. Arias Dugmedjian trying to make the same move. They're up front. This is good. This is like the three big dogs running up front, putting lap time. We're just going to pull away. Norberg's back, scrapping up, elbows up. Jarsakrak's fighting like crazy. Jonathan Port's putting good lap times down. Hannah Greenmeyer was up there. She gets shuffled back. She fights her way back up to P9. A great run for Hannah coming back to the front. But in the end, it's weird to me because Bryson Morris, again, this is the kid that we talked about last year as kind of being, I want to say, a surprise winner in the X30 junior race, right?
It was a breakthrough win.
Yeah, it's this breakthrough victory, right?
It's what you want to see when the big show comes to your racetrack. You want to be able to step up and show the pace. Because
it's like when the World of Outlaws rolls in, right? Your dirt track and the local shoe grabs a win or something like that. Shows really well.
When you go to Berlin Raceway, you want a Seneca to win.
Yeah, there you go. I like that. Pull the Berlin in. Bryson worked his way forward. And it was, for me, it's a thing that it wasn't, there's zero luck, zero wrecking, right? This guy's not moving anybody.
No.
And that's the thing about Newcastle.
A clean part.
Super clean.
Both KA and in X30.
Deep on the brakes at turn number 4.
That was one thing I noticed a little bit today was how deep he was going into the scoreboard corner. Yeah.
And then roll in the center.
And was able to roll it through. Yeah.
And then to the inside of turn number 6, which is again out of 4, 5 kinks, 6 is the green corner, and guys like up to the curb a little bit. No, never with Bryce, just in and out of the corner. Mm-hmm. Super decisive in all his passes. Again, this is going to be one of these weekends where we kind of look back and this is the rival of Bryson Morris. Where does he go from here? What does he do from here? Obviously for him, Newcastle's his racetrack. He's got to go somewhere next and be a badass, right? He's got to go whatever race he goes to next. You want to hope that he comes out and does well because Obviously, here at the home track, he's done a tremendous job, which is big for him. But the bottom line is Bryson Morris ends up getting the race win, fast lap of the race. When you're trying to win a championship, you win the race, you steal away the fast lap, 10-point bonus as well, big. 1.2 seconds the advantage. Arias Dukmejian ends up finishing second. Ryan Norberg, if he's going to go out as a 4-time champion, he can't do it. He's going to end up with national number 2, I would think, probably the way he's running. The consistency that he has shown has been amazing. But Christian Brooks, I talked to Christian, was either before or after the pre. I think it was before the pre-final. He's like, I just cannot buy a break. And for him to be able to, of course, then come back, he was up front, which was great. He ends up finishing P4. Luca Mars in fifth. And it's almost like Luca Mars in this particular category, even in K100, kind of getting a little overshadowed by Bryson, because Luca's a kid that we've watched. Has he not been the? Do you put him as the number 1 or 2 junior over the last 5 years or 3 years? Where do you put him?
Well, he was. It's not been that long. I think 2 years that he was in junior.
Yeah, but where do you put him? Was he the best? Was he the best junior?
Because he kind of had that transition, I think, where he was cadet one race and then moved up to junior the next. So,
Straight to shifter. I know.
No. But
who are the top juniors you've seen? Him, Tommy Zillich.
The top rookies that are seniors right now would be Luca Mars and Bryson Morris, obviously. Duke Medjian is the second year. He's not having a sophomore slump. That's one thing to talk about.
We haven't talked about that actually.
Typically sometimes drivers do kind of not perform well in their second year as a senior driver or excel, and I think he's really excelling. Obviously been on top of the podium during this groundhog event, and
I think he again for him.
I think
nothing but confidence.
Yeah, again, if you look at drivers 18 and under, you got Morris, Dukmejian, Mars. I think Ports as well. He's 17 now. No, I think this is his first senior year as well too.
What?
If I recall, I think what's the brother's name?
Edward.
Yeah, I think he's older.
Oh my God, that's right. Edward's the older driver.
So Jonathan is the younger one.
He could be 15.
So he could be. So again, you got a lot of young talent. Hannah Greenmeyer just turned 18.
Yeah.
So Jace Denmark Gessel, kind of just at that 18 age.
Zach Holden's getting old though.
Tyner's another one too. Zach
Holden's over. He's over.
It was good to see him in the top 10 because he's like, he came out of retirement. He's like the old guy out there. Him and Lemke are like old guys. And we remember them as cadet drivers.
Exactly right. Yes.
So even Jarzakrak, they're the old guys. And Norberg now, I think, is kind of transitioned to the old guy now. Have we not been able to
I just want to throw this out there so it gets into the families. We can talk about it. There's another brother. We talk about all the brothers that keep making mistakes now, right? The Weinbergs.
Well, which one? Cameron?
I kept making mistakes on them.
We got the Moss brothers that we keep mixing up. We got the Iliff brothers.
Hold on. In senior, there's George McGinnis and Robert McGinnis.
Yeah.
George, obviously, the more talented driver. Robert, of course, a winner in Indy Lights. I think George may be the better McGinnis. I'm just gonna throw it out there.
I'll let you handle that.
Throwing that out there, Georgie. You're the man, bro. George ended up finishing in the 15th spot today. All in all, though, David, I think a pretty good day of competition. A couple of we get 2 red flags or just the one? 2 red flags.
Well, we had the one in qualifying,
but no major injuries, which was great. And it wasn't like a big nuts flipped up deal.
No.
Hey, listen, here's the deal. I'll throw that Henford again. Edward Senior, John, no, Nuda Senior. All right.
So I was right.
Here's one. Jorge Jaramillo, great coverage. How about this 3-race weekend format?
I don't think anybody likes it.
I hate it. I know. Listen, SKUSA, kudos. Get the Pro Tour done. We did this in one of the earlier broadcasts. David and I keep talking about the fact that we're a bigger fan of the 1-race weekend deal. I get it. The 2-race weekend, if you have a bad day, you come back the next day. People are happy to get a chance to come back.
Gives you that warm and
fuzzy feeling. But what you and I are all about, as it's been in the past, 1-race winner. When we do coverage, it's 1 winner. Did you win this weekend? Yeah, I won the first race. No, I'm the winner. You're the winner on a weekend, right? Even IndyCar doing doubleheaders right now.
It's tough.
Yeah, with the COVID rescheduling.
What
are your thoughts, folks? What do you think?
You have to adapt to what has been presented to you. Similar to track changes or temporary circuits. You gotta adapt. And obviously Supercarts USA has been able to adapt to this year's season, and it's good that we're getting all 6 rounds in.
Yep.
So we can look back and say, as you keep talking about, well, this is the first day of the summer nats.
Yeah, you're right.
So
because Friday and Saturday were the winter nats
of
last week.
weekend.
Sunday of last week and Friday this week, spring nats.
Spring nats.
We're into the summer nats now.
So we can look at it that way, but again, it's still at the same racetrack. So that is the big difference. So when you talk about the NBA championships that's going on, and NHL even, and baseball having a reduced schedule. People are talking about asterisks, on these championships. I mean, you can do that, you can say that. I mean, but it's still, you had to be good over 6 rounds of racing. So it's a championship, but again, it's a unique championship. This is again time. This is a unique time for all of us, and we've had to adapt, and luckily we're able to race. I mean, that's the number one thing is we're able to race.
Yeah, here's Josh throwing out here. Josh Villel saying one winner, you race all weekend to get a better starting spot for the main. And that's we had that in the past, right, David, where you would qualify, we had a couple of heat races, you keep moving your way forward, and it ends up being one winner at the end, which I think is always a good thing. I like the fact that you push hard, and in the end, you're a winner or you're a loser. You're first, or you're first loser, second loser, third loser, whatever it may be. Man, it's you're either good or you're not, and that's the program for sure, is to be able to get out there, learn how to race for a win, and then not make mistakes, because that's, again, we see this all the time, right? I don't care if it's a Friday race or Saturday race or Sunday race, drivers not thinking in the long term of what you're going to do for the main event. That happens all the time. Again, folks, if you have any other questions, we'd be happy to answer them right now. Throw us out a couple of questions here. We are right at 1 hour right there. Man, it's longer than I thought it was going to be.
Well, I stalled you.
You did great. David was still filling in.
I'm on race group 7, so
you're
not
good.
quite, but
You're doing good, buddy.
Yeah.
I appreciate it. This is what happens in e-card news, folks. So we left here at 8 o'clock this morning, got to the racetrack. We were on the mic at 9. David was starting to posting at 9 o'clock in the morning. It's now 11 o'clock, so we're essentially 14 hours into this deal. We had a quick dinner at Los Amigos. It was delicious. We enjoyed ourselves, but now we're back wrapping things up. Dave's got a report still to write. Just phone it in, David. Don't even worry about it.
I mean, just like you're announcing, I'll phone it in.
Wow. Yeah, the report still to write, and he's doing the points right now to make sure that we're able to tell you guys what we think are going to be the results. That's
all because of you.
Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah, that's true. We do it for you guys. If it wasn't, if you guys said we don't give a shit about the points, David wouldn't do it.
I've gotten 5 texts about it already.
That's not surprising. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in. We do appreciate it. We're waiting for just other guys saying stuff. Let's just throw a couple deals in here.
Wait.
Josh says, what about people who get pole, win all heats, blow a chain in the pre-final? Do you start for the main or do the average? Now, that's an interesting thing. If you have all the heats, you can average it for the deal. I like that. Louis Pagano throwing out the A versus B versus C versus D. I love the Super Nats when we do it that way. I think that's something that's been run on the world stage many times. David Coates, what do you think about points? Oh, we did a great job. Thank you. I appreciate that. Listen, there's lots of different ways to, like, again, Friday, Saturday, Sunday means everybody gets a chance to win. I'm not a big fan of everybody winning races. I seriously, if you have a bad day, you got to have a bad day. I think people in the sport a lot of times get mad that when they have a bad day, they think it's the worst thing in the world. And I think for kids that have bad days, that's a great thing. You have a bad day. It's horrible. Learn from it. Come back to the next race. That's the thing. When a family has a bad day, when a father and a son or a father and a daughter or a mother and a son, put it together what you want. When you guys have bad days, you guys get to work together to get better. And that's the beauty of the sport, is the fact it's a family sport. So if you're having an issue together, you're struggling, and you sit down and talk to your child and you're able to get better, it doesn't happen in soccer. It doesn't happen in baseball. This is kind of a family sport where you're able to get better and better and talk.
Who did the old guys talk to?
Me and you.
I feel sorry for them.
Guys, thank you so much for tuning in. We do appreciate it. We're back again for round number 6 tomorrow, Championship Sunday at the Supercarts USA Pro Tour. It is Groundhog Day again. We'll wake up again at 7 o'clock in the morning. We'll hear, I think it's Sonny and Cher is the song, right? Put your little hand in mine. That's the song, by the way, David.
I was saying Chicago earlier.
That's you did on the way in, and you were thinking Chicago. We're back tomorrow, Groundhog Day. One more day at Newcastle Motorsports Park. Thank you so much for tuning in, guys. We really appreciate it. Again, 10:53. We're just having a good time here. We hope you guys enjoy it. So I got through half a beer. That was an hour.
Because I made you talk.
Dave, I get paid to talk. That's what I'm here for. You just do your work. I'll keep talking. I'll carry us here right now. Should we go back and have a look at me beating you one more time?
No.
No?
Nobody wants to see that, Rob.
#beat David Cole. Thanks, guys. We'll see you tomorrow. Do appreciate it.